What is up, guys? It's Fernando back with another video. Today we'll be doing my UFC 329 recap and review. Obviously everyone knows what happened at the end of this event here. Absolutely tragic. It was horrible. Not very anticlimactic. No one wanted it, and nobody wanted it to end that way. But besides that, we got an absolutely phenomenal card. From the early prelims all the way to the co-main event, the fights were fantastic. Finishes left and right, subs, knockouts, everything you could imagine happened in this card. So let's get into it. Obviously, we're going to start with the main event, Max Bless Holloway versus the returning Conor McGregor, and everyone already knows what happens. The first kick Conor McGregor throws, he blows out his knee. Looks like he tears his ACL. His leg completely gives out on him. And we have a TKO win for Max Holloway in the very first round. Obviously, we have nothing to really discuss here. But I just want to put in perspective, this sport is absolutely relentless. I've trained for a little while. I've studied it nonstop. And you are always hurt. When you are training, you are always hurt. There's always something nagging you, and then obviously you're doing all these rounds sparring, you're constantly getting hurt through there, and then you have to just be somewhat okay around like 85-90% when you get into fight day after a weight cut and all that type of stuff. And with the 5-year layoff that McGregor has had, he hasn't done that full speed of a fight. He hasn't had that reality in over 5 years. And he's been out of his prime for more than that. He is a prize fighter now. He is not a title contender anymore. And his body has just completely started to give out on him. Obviously, from his leg injury to the toe injury to everything else, his mind isn't in it anymore. He says it is. He makes people constantly believe that he's going to win. It shows in the odds, and people will constantly fall for it. That McGregor, the way he talks, the odds completely flip. He was like a minus, or he was like a plus 400 underdog, and then he gets up to like only a plus 200, and he makes people believe. But it's just not realistic. This was an uphill battle from the jump. This was mission impossible for Conor McGregor. And stylistically, yes, it was a good matchup for him because he's going against a striker in Max Holloway. But if you think about it, in reality, it's not. Max Holloway is a bitch to deal with. This dude is relentless. He is vicious. He is nonstop. He does not really get that tired. He has added the element of power to his punches. He is the most violent man in my opinion, to ever fight in this sport. And with Conor McGregor, that is just something that he is not going to be able to deal with anymore. His body can't hold up. He's got too much money. There's no need for him to jump into that octagon and face someone who is that vicious, violent, and attacking, and so offensively forward. It is a nightmare for him. And with his gas tank, it would have been even worse. So at the end of the day, yes, it sucked. We didn't get to see the fight really play out and get an ultimate finish, but I think it would have ended with Max Holloway doing what Max Holloway usually does, and that would have been melting Conor McGregor. Now, I'm going to try and think here on the positive. Everyone knows this was a bummer, but it clearly sets up a perfect opportunity for a rematch down the line, if Conor McGregor wants to do that, because, like I said, his body just doesn't have it anymore. I truly believe that. And from this, it's going to take him. It's going to need surgery. I'm going to guess around 9 months to recover from this. And Max Holloway, I don't know if he might be willing to wait for that. He might go take a fight. Max Holloway can go on and do whatever the hell he wants. Lightweight, fucking do some banger fights at welterweight. He can go fight any of the top 10, top 5 contenders. In the lightweight division, but for Conor McGregor, I'm going to have to rehab, and then he's really got to sit with himself, sit with his team, sit with his family, and figure out what he wants to do. Can he finally just sail off into the sunset with all the money he's got? I'm not sure, but this does give the UFC and everyone here another opportunity to potentially see that fight. Like Max Holloway said, I don't think it'll be in December like he planned on it being, but we will be able to get it later on down the line if they both agree to it, and if Conor wants to do it, because we all know Max will do it. He wants that money. He wants it. So the real question is, will McGregor be up to the task and doing a whole other training camp and risking more injury when he does not need to do this anymore? So, yeah, real bummer. But let's get into the rest of the night, which was just banger after banger. Then in the co-main event, we had Paddy the Baddy Pimblett versus Benoit Saint Denis. And this played out exactly like I thought it would play out. For my predictions, I didn't do too good. I'm not gonna lie, I did not do too good. I think it went like 8-5 or 8-6 or something like that. But I predicted this fight perfectly. Paddy the Baddy was able to just absorb one head kick, BSD shot, and boom, we had a Darce choke, and Paddy the Baddy instantly picks up the victory in less than a minute. It seemed like this was a nightmare matchup for Benoit Saint Denis. He is forward pressure against a man who does not seem to get knocked out, not yet at least, and deals perfectly on the ground. He is a submission artist. Paddy the Baddy is a bad motherfucker on the ground, and he can take a hit. So in my opinion, I don't understand why the odds were in favor of BSD. I get that the 3 wins he's had have finishes have been real good against some high level competition. But Paddy the Baddy is a nightmare, and Paddy the Baddy is huge. Paddy Pimblett is massive for the weight class, and he just absolutely ragdolled BSD here, put him to sleep. Like I said, great. And for Paddy, the world is his oyster, man. He's got he can do the rematch with Justin Gaethje. Hell, if Max Holloway wants a fun fight, that's there. Again, there are so many people waiting in the 155 for a title opportunity against Justin Gaethje. It's wide open. You compare any of these guys up. You have Arman Sarukin in there. He doesn't seem to want to fight ever. So I don't know what's going on with him. But Paddy is able to do anything. They have that history with Ilia Topuria. Does Paddy want to potentially reignite that fire with Ilya? Maybe after Ilya heals up. We'll see. So it's real interesting. Great performance by Paddy the Baddy. The crowd was absolutely electric. They went crazy for him. He got the biggest pop of the night, even over Conor McGregor. I get that Paddy the Baddy's song is more interactive than Conor McGregor, but people were going absolutely insane for Paddy Pimblett as he made his way to the octagon. It was fantastic. Yeah, so again, not too much to discuss here because it was such a quick fight, but Paddy the Baddy picks up the win, and we'll see what UFC does. I want to see him fight anyone in the top 5. Max, Charles, Arman, Ilya, Justin, they all make sense. So this great double thumbs up for Paddy the Baddy Pimblett. Then we get to a real tactical fight. Corey Sandhagen versus Mario Bautista in the first round. Mario Bautista, Corey's kind of tagging him up on the feet. Corey was really controlling on the feet, in my opinion. He was able to do switch stances and just really confused Mario. Mario ended up tearing something in Corey's knee while they were in a leg lock. But ends up with Mario picking up the unanimous decision victory over Corey Sandhagen. I personally had the fight 29-28 for Corey Sandhagen. I thought Corey Sandhagen was able to win rounds 1 and 2 with his movement and just the way he was able to tag Mario Bautista and really confused him on the feet. Even with that he seemed like he tore his knee too. But the judges didn't see it that way. I wouldn't consider it a robbery. I could see it have gone any way. But Mario Bautista was able to pick up the victory, and obviously he picking up the victory over Corey Sandhagen is going to do wonders for him. He's able to go and fight the top 5 in the bantamweight division, potentially earn himself a title shot if he beats someone else. I don't think this fight directly gets him a title shot because he isn't the most exciting fighter. People don't want to clamor. People aren't clamoring to see him fight all the time. He's kind of a bad guy in the UFC after that performance against Jose Aldo a while back. But either way, nice win over Corey Sandhagen. But I still think he needs some work to get that title shot. And then we had the absolute fight of the night. We had Brandon Royval versus Loner Kavanagh, or Lonnie Kavanagh. I'm not sure how you pronounce it. But anyways, this fight is crazy. From the jump, these two are going crazy. These 125ers, I never knew why people wanted them gone. These 125ers are the best division. It is the most entertaining fights every single time. These guys have unlimited cardio. They're so technical in every single aspect of mixed martial art. These 125ers. But anyways, these two going at it, and Brandon Royval is able to put the pressure on Lonnie Kavanaugh in the first round. Really tag him, use his long range, use his distance. So we started off there. Lonnie Kavanaugh ends up dropping him real bad in the second round, and Brandon Royval is an absolute dog. He brings out the dog, and he fights his way back, and eventually in the third round gets a takedown and ends up rear naked choking Lonnie Kavanaugh out cold. Lonnie tapped, but right after he went to sleep. So great win for Brandon Royval. After a 2-fight skid, he taking out a very, very good prospect in Lonnie Kavanaugh. A great win for Brandon Royval. This was absolutely the fight of the night. It was a banger, back and forth. These two knocked each other down like multiple times. Both were woozy, blood from both these guys. It was absolutely great. Best fight of the night. Thank you to these 125ers for putting on such master classes in fights and showing all around mixed martial arts, from the striking to jiu-jitsu to wrestling to cardio, everything. And congrats to Brandon Royval on the upset. I picked him to actually lose. I wanted him to win, so I'm kind of glad about the result. Then we got another crazy fight. We had King Green versus Terrence McKinney. Terrence McKinney comes out like guns blazing like he always does. Fantastic. He comes out and he is tagging Bobby Green. Bobby Green's face was an absolute mess after the fight. Ends up taking Bobby Green down and ground and pounding him, beating his ass for the majority of the match, for the majority of the fight, until Bobby Green gets up, hits him with one body shot that seems to glance off the elbow of Terrence McKinney and drops him. TKO. And Bobby Green picks up this absolutely blew my mind. This shocked me. I did not expect Terrence McKinney. He was getting tired, but I didn't expect him to go down to one shot to the body like he did. Again, props to Bobby Green. He's up there in age, or I think he said he's 40. But like I said, great fight. He did what he had to do. He was able to absorb the shots, which I did not think he was going to be able to do. And waited till Terrence McKinney got tired and tagged him. I just didn't expect him to take him down or hit him with one shot and Terrence McKinney would go down. But anyways, good, entertaining fight for as long as it lasted with King Green and him picking up the victory. Then we get Nikita Krylov versus Robert Whittaker. Robert Whittaker, let's just start off by saying this. He needs to fill out his lightweight, his 205 frame a little bit better. He looks puffy. He did not look good. His cardio looked not... His footwork did not look as clean as it did when he was at 185. But anyways, pretty much the whole fight, Robert Whittaker's using that 1-2 to tag Nikita Krylov for over the 15 minutes, and eventually straight right and just TKOs Krylov in the third round. Absolutely fantastic performance from Robert Whittaker. I think he has some work to do here at 205. I think he could be a player. Like I said at the beginning, he's going to need to put on that weight a little bit better. But skill-wise, he still got it. I could see him being in the top, 10 to 15, and making a splash here. But I don't see too much for Robert Whittaker. I don't see him going too high, especially with these young guns here at 205. But either way, great performance. Great to see Robert Whittaker get a win, especially in front of his whole entire family. And then we get the debuting Gable Steveson versus Elijah Ellison. This fight was chaos. Gable Steveson, you could really, really tell that he trains with John Jones. It was crazy, the visuals that he gave off John Jones. He was teep kicking and oblique kicking those legs. Like I said, teep kicking the stomach, going in, and he looked like he wanted to fight. He went in there swinging hands. He went for a couple takedowns. Elijah Ellison made this a fight, even though he was a big, big, big underdog. He made this a fight. He was swinging big, but in the end, Gable Steveson was able to overwhelm him and TKO him for the win. We got a problem here with Gable Steveson. I think he could work a little bit on some defense, but again, this is only his fourth fight in mixed martial arts, so he is going to be a problem. I could see him being in the top 15 real easily. great and good for the heavyweight division. We need more bodies in the heavyweight division because it's top heavy, but other than that, it is dog shit. So I'm glad to see Gable Steveson get a victory here. And then we have Adrian Yanez versus Carter Garbrandt. This fight went exactly how I thought it would. Adrian Yanez beats the brakes off Cody Garbrandt, takes his head off in round one, knockout. Cody Garbrandt, I think he needs to call it. I don't like saying it, but I think he needs to call it. He just doesn't have it anymore. He had that one spectacular performance 10 years ago. He was the best fighter in the world for 25 minutes. But Adrian Yanez, great win here over a former champ. He's going to move his way up in the rankings. I think he is a problem. His hands, his power for 135 is a problem. Great win for Adrian Yanez. We have Luke Riley versus Kai Kamaka. Another banger fight. Luke Riley, combinations fast. He is a hard hitter. He TKOs Kai Kamaka in the first round. Again, another great addition to the 145-pound division. Young up-and-comer. He's going to get some work. And he's going to be another problem, in my opinion. His stand-up is a bitch to deal with. He seems really, really, really well-rounded in all aspects of the game. So, great win there. Then we have Tracy Cortez versus Wong Kong. I got this completely wrong. I was kind of thinking with my dick. Not going to lie. I really want Tracy Cortez. She got pieced up for all 3 rounds, and Wong Kong ends up winning a decision over Tracy Cortez. Sad to see Tracy Cortez look like that. She got her ass whooped on the feet for 15 minutes. We got Damian Pinas versus Cesar Almeida. Pinas, he's got power in his hands. Straight right, boom, knocks down Cesar Almeida, knocks him out cold. He doesn't want to go for a foul shot. Ref doesn't stop. He hits him with a shot. Great performance there by Damian Pinas. We got Farid Basharat versus John Garza. The debuting John Garza, who got called up six days ago. He put on a fight for the number 15 ranked bantamweight in Basharat. And he put up a fight, but in the end, Basharat just wins a unanimous decision over him. But great showing by John Garza. UFC is going to really like him for that. His hands look clean. Everything looked good. But he just came up a little bit short and looked just a tad bit step behind Basharat here in this fight. Ryan Gondra versus Zach Reese. I got this prediction wrong. I was just picking whatever. Ryan Gondra just TKOs him real quick in the first round. And then the first fight that we had Alessandro Costa versus Cody Dern. Costa kind of starts off slow. Dern's kind of putting the pressure on him, but then Costa just ends up rear neck and choking Cody Dern. Overall, it was a really good night of fights. Finishes left and right. Obviously, the bummer at the end, but in my book, it was a win. Hopefully, we get to see that rematch for the 3rd time of Conor McGregor versus Max Holloway. But overall, I went 8-5 on the total card in my predictions. I didn't have Basharat or John Garza. I made the prediction video before that, so I went 8-5. So not too bad, but not too good. I just didn't do good. Didn't do too good this time. But anyways, like I said, overall great card. Hopefully we get that rematch. I will be back tomorrow Monday with WWE. I've been taking a break from WWE with the World Cup in progress. Just too much to deal with, and WWE has been sucked awful lately. I've watched the episodes; they've just been complete dog shit. So we'll get back to that on Monday. But thanks for watching. I'll see y'all next time. Have a good one.